Hello everyone, it's me, Small Pups. I'm back with another creepy cryptid video, just like my cryptids of Nova Scotia. This time, we're going to be looking into American cryptids, like Moth Man and Bigfoot. I know it seems very broad, but I've narrowed it down to 10 entries, and they are just simple, short summaries with a little bit of my silly commentary on top. I've also drawn each cryptid, and I'll show them at the end. I hope you enjoy. Moth Man, mysterious man-insect of West Virginia. Everyone's favorite flying freak, arguably the sexiest cryptid, or so I've heard. Mysterious black flying creature, glowing red eyes, fuzzy. Is Moth Man a furry? Did furries exist when Moth Man was first sighted? Fursuiting was invented in 1984, so no, he was before the times. Mothman, original furry. Okay, here's the deal. Mothman was first sighted on November 15th, 1966 in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Two couples discovered him first. The four people told police they had seen a large black silhouette with glowing red eyes and wings on the side of the road, now known as the TNT area. The couples fled from the being in their cars, and the Mothman chased them until they returned to the city, purportedly screeching the entire time. There were other sightings around this time, too, reported by many different individuals, such as policemen and firefighters. Altogether, there were supposedly 100 sightings from 1966 to 1967. One of the more recent detections was in Point Pleasant, of course, in November of 2016. An anonymous man snapped this picture, very Mothman looking. However, scientists mostly agree that this photo shows a type of bird carrying off an unlucky frog. What do you think? Do you think it's real? Is this a real picture of Mothman? If you're really into Mothman, then why not take a nice autumn drive to Point Pleasant Park this September? There you can check out the Mothman Festival. I'm interested. Here's my drawing of Mothman. I tried to give him insect-like legs for more of a bug appearance. He should be even buggier. Bat Squatch. Bigfoot with wings. Sasquatch mixed with a bat. An ape with wings. Actually, it's more like a werewolf bat thing. The name is a bit misleading. That's sick as hell, though. A flying werebat. The Bat Squatch stands at a staggering 9 feet tall, has blue fur, glowing eyes, and a dog or bat-like face. Its more unique features are its mismatched bird feet and 50-foot bat wings. This creature was first sighted in 1980 around the Mount St. Helens volcano in Washington state. On May 18, 1980, Mount St. Helens erupted, causing major death and destruction. A multitude of witnesses claim to have seen an ominous figure flying in the smoky ashen sky. This, of course, was the first sighting of what we now know as the Bat Squatch. In April 1994, 14 years after the eruption, the Bat Squatch was sighted again, this time by one lone man, Brian Canfield. Brian was driving his pickup truck in Pierce County, Washington, about 105 miles north of Mount St. Helens, when his faithful chariot died unexpectedly. Brian recalls a large winged entity landing on the hood of his truck, 9 feet tall with a blue fur and a bat-like face. The beast's terrifying red glowing eyes stared at Canfield for several minutes before it spread its wings and flew away. Brian's truck started up again, and he drove off as fast as he could. Can the Bat Squatch cause vehicular malfunctions? Was it summoned by the Mount St. Helens eruption? We may never know. Here's a doodle of the bastard Bat Squatch. I had to include his bird feet. It's unique, and a lot of artists leave them out for some reason. I couldn't decide if I wanted him to have arms or not, but I ended up putting fingers on his wings. Bigfoot, the Whitehall great ape. Bigfoot, the guy with the big feet. Beefy foot. Arguably the most well-known cryptid in America, and possibly even the world. Bigfoot, the guy with the big feet. I say the guy, but it's generally speculated that Bigfoot is not one singular entity, but rather an undiscovered species of its own. A bunch of dudes and dudettes with big feet. We all know Bigfoot. They can be anywhere from 6 to 10 feet tall. They're super muscular and covered in dark brown or reddish fur. Some have described Bigfoot as being too close to a human. Tall, dark, and mysterious ape-man hybrid. The Bigfoot-a-bear incident happened on August 25th, 1976, in Whitehall, New York, on a bare road. 3 teenagers described spotting a roughly 7 to 8 foot tall creature in a nearby field. As the group watched the looming large human form, it suddenly began to scream and rushed at them. Thankfully, the boys were all in a truck and quickly drove away. Police later arrived on the scene and confirmed the figure to be real, and that it was freaking stinky. Wilfred Goslin, one of the teenagers' fathers and a policeman, recalls the encounter. It scared me. It scared me a lot. What really attracted me was the eyes on it. Big red eyes. It just stood there. It didn't move. At least a dozen other sightings were reported around this time, and large footprints were even found on a riverbank by the edge of the field. The village of Whitehall declared Bigfoot to be their official animal in 2018, and you can find sprinkles of Sasquatch all around the area, such as the symbol of a local golf course where it was once sighted, the Skeene Valley Country Club. You can catch Whitehall's annual Sasquatch Festival at the end of each September. They have a Sasquatch calling contest, so you'll get to hear some real good Bigfoot whoops and wails. All around, seems like a pretty good time. The OG, Bigfoot. Imagine Bigfoot running at you full speed. I'll be honest, I couldn't think of how to draw Bigfoot. It's Bigfoot, you know, like he be walking in the woods. Jackalope, fearsome critter, bunny. As the name suggests, a jackalope is a jackrabbit or a hare with antelope horns or deer antlers. Occasionally, the jackalope is depicted with a tail and/or hind legs of a pheasant, so a cute little bunny with antlers and maybe even a fancy tail. These little critters are known to mimic human voices and even sing along with campfire songs. Very cute, jackalopes. Thank you. Supposedly, the first jackalope encounter was in Wyoming during the famous Lewis and Clark expedition. A man named John Coulter was singing a tune while traveling. To his surprise, another voice joined in. He followed the sound and discovered a jackalope. Jackalopes have been sighted in several states, but these little critters originated in Douglas, Wyoming. To completely ruin the whimsy, we know exactly how the jackalope came to be. Sometime in the 1930s, Douglas Herrick and his brother Ralph went hunting for jackrabbits. When they returned home, they tossed a hare carcass near a pair of old deer antlers. This gave Herrick the idea of a jackalope, and he put together the hybrid creature with his taxidermy skills. It was sold to a local hotel, where it was displayed for the years to follow. Eventually, it was stolen, though. RIP. Despite being a tall tale, jackalope sightings are still reported to this day, in the United States and worldwide. Depending on the source material, there's a lot of lore surrounding horned rabbits, an example being Germany's Wolpertinger, a critter with the head of a bunny with deer antlers, the body of a squirrel, and the wings of a pheasant. Jackalopes are a multicultural phenomenon. I drew this picture of a jackalope with a jackalope-sized guitar because they love to join in during campfire songs. I wanted to give her a musical instrument because she deserves it. I bet she makes good music. Fresno Nightcrawler, possessed pair of pants. These funky little guys, also known as the Fresno aliens, are one of my favorite cryptids. They are strangely cute, almost like a stylized cartoon character. As far as we can tell from grainy security cam footage, the Nightcrawlers are short, 4 foot tall, all-white beings with just 2 legs and a circular head. They're named after the city of Fresno, California, but they've also been sightings in Yosemite National Park and Montana. The Fresno Nightcrawler has been compared to another cryptid called the Carmel area creature, as they look similar. But the Carmel creature was said to be 7 foot, so much taller than our little dudes. Maybe the Carmel creature is the Nightcrawler's roided-out cousin from Ohio. Fresno, California, 2007. A man only known as Jose set up security cameras outside his home. His dogs had been barking late into the night, so he wanted to see what was causing their disturbance. What he captured was our boys, the Nightcrawlers. What looked like a pair of pants walked across his front yard. Terrified and wanting answers, Jose gave the footage to Univision television station and paranormal investigator Victor Camacho. Unfortunately, no answers were found about this mysterious sighting. The other sightings are similar to Jose's, low-quality camera footage of 2-legged things stalking around the place. The footage from Yosemite Park, California, shows what may be a juvenile Nightcrawler. Look at her, she's so small and cute. The Montana sighting is difficult to make out, but if you look hard enough, there he is. In the pixels. What a guy. What do you think about the Fresno Nightcrawlers? Are these stick figures aliens? Or ghosts? Are they legit, or do you think it's all a hoax? Is it really just a pair of pants being manipulated in some freaky-deaky way? The little cuties, Fresno Nightcrawlers. I love them so, so much. I drew the little baby, too. If both of them were poking along my lawn, I'd feel like I saw a celebrity. I took the liberty of giving them eyes, as the security cams are too low quality to tell if they have them or not. Skunk Ape. Stinky apple thief. Another Bigfoot, but even stinkier. And he's from Florida. The skunk ape is approximately 5 to 7 feet tall and has black and ginger/brown colored fur with some graying on his face. I wonder why this Floridian Sasquatch is shorter than its relatives. The stench of this brute is said to be similar to a skunk, hence the name. Some notes include rotten eggs and fecal matter. Lovely.
Sexy, sweet, yummy.
Skunk ape sightings are usually contained in Florida, specifically the Everglades National Park, but they have been sighted elsewhere in the southeastern USA, such as Georgia. We're gonna specifically look at an encounter from December 2000. The Myakka skunk ape was sighted in Sarasota County, Florida, near Myakka River State Park. An elderly woman snapped these photos in her backyard at night. She claimed that something had been stealing her apples off the back porch, and now she had captured it on camera. Terrifying photos, really creepy. This guy looks like he stinks, so I believe it. The woman thought it to be an escaped orangutan, and she feared it would bring harm to her family. Now, it should also be noted that these photos, along with a letter detailing the encounter, were anonymously sent to the Sarasota County Sheriff Office. So the origins of these photos are murky, and their authenticity is debatable. It's pretty freaky looking though, so I hope he's not real. Bigfoot and his cousins seem to really love apples. Silly skunk ape doodle. He's stealing apples from old ladies, as usual. An apple a day keeps the skunk ape away. A worthy sacrifice. Just a cutesy doodle. I was feeling it. Noodle arms. The Jersey Devil, the 13th child. The Jersey Devil is a terrifying and disturbing cryptid that devours livestock and creeps deep in the forests of Pine Barrens, New Jersey. It is a elongated, winged, bipedal monster with the head of a goat, including horns, hooves for feet, and a forked tail. The Jersey Devil was once known as the Leeds Devil. It was named after the Jersey Devil's origin. According to folklore, a woman simply known as Jane Leeds, or Mother Leeds, was pregnant with her 13th child. As she already had 12 children, Mother Leeds allegedly cursed her new baby because she was frustrated with being pregnant once again. She said that the 13th baby would be the devil. Poor choice of words. I wonder if she came to regret that. The baby was born on a stormy night in 1735. The baby came naturally and was healthy, but something horrific happened. The once normal baby transformed into a demonic beast, the one we now know as the Jersey Devil. A stretched-out body with a goat head and a forked tail. The devil child beat the family with its tail before flying away outside of an open window. In some versions of the tale, Mother Leeds was a witch and the father of the child was Satan himself. Did Leeds accidentally curse her child, or did she do it on purpose? Did she get dirty with the devil? In the week of January 16th to 23rd, 1909, newspapers around Delaware Valley were flooded with reports of the Jersey Devil. It had been attacking public places and people, and leaving hoof prints everywhere. This creature was being sighted further and further away from Pine Barrens. Numerous schools and establishments closed down out of fear. What actually happened? We don't even know. Sightings just boosted and then died down. Unbelievable. Some people believe it was all a well-orchestrated hoax. Others say mass hysteria. Maybe the Jersey Devil took a vacation north, then skedaddled back to Pine Barrens? I don't know. My drawing of the Jersey Devil. I wasn't sure what color to make him, and I couldn't find a concrete answer to if his hands are hooves or not. Anyway, I like how he came out. The Loveland Frog, awkward amphibian. Cryptids in Ohio be like. Froggy. The Loveland Frog, also known as the Loveland Frogman or Loveland Lizard, is a humanoid frog cryptid sighted in Loveland, Ohio. This odd fellow looks like an anthropoid frog. It is 4 feet tall and has frog-like arms, human-like legs, and webbed extremities. Froggy Man is most often sighted around bodies of water, such as rivers and swamps. The Frogman was first sighted in May of 1955. A traveling businessman was night driving along the Miami River when he spotted 3 bipedal figures with frog faces, 3 frogmen. The businessman, named Robert, pulled over and observed the creatures for 3 full minutes. He said they had gray, leathery, and wrinkly skin. Allegedly, one frogman held a wand above his head and shot out sparks from the tip, attacking Robert. Can the frogman control magic? Or electricity? Robert quickly left the dangerous area. The next sighting came in 1972. On March 3rd, an anonymous police officer was carefully driving along the icy Riverside Road. He spotted what seemed to be an injured animal in the road. As he pondered on the animal, it suddenly hopped in front of his police car. The officer lurched to a stop, and he watched as the animal stood up on its hind legs and stumbled away over a guardrail on the side of the road. It disappeared into the Ohio River. The officer described the frogman almost exactly the same as the previous records. Another officer visited the scene later that night and supposedly confirmed scratch marks and dents on the guardrail where the frogman escaped. There was another sighting in 1972, but this one was written off as a escaped large iguana with no tail. No frog, only lizard. One last sighting happened in Cincinnati in August of 2016. A couple were playing Pokemon Go together when they sighted the frogman in Lake Isabella. and they even snapped a photo with it. The witness told local news station WLWT, "We saw a huge frog near the water. Not in the game, this was an actual giant frog. Then the thing stood up and walked on its hind legs. I realize this sounds crazy, but I swear on my grandmother's grave, this is the truth." I ain't gonna lie, I mean, the picture looks pretty froggish, but, I don't know, it might just be a regular-ass frog. Here's the Loveland frog. I wanted to keep a full frog appearance, but I felt like male breasts were the best route of action. I also thought it would be funny if his wand was simply a bent stick. Michigan Dogman returns every 10 years. The Michigan Dogman was first sighted in Wexford County, Michigan in 1882. Two lumberjacks were working in the forest when they claimed to have seen a 7-foot-tall figure with a human body and dog head. It was covered in dark black fur, ideal for camouflaging at night. Some legends say the beast had amber eyes, while others say blue. There were more sightings around this time, but they were mostly all the same: lone or small groups of men working in the woods and encountering a bipedal dog. Another sighting took place in 2017 in the Manistee National Forest. Trucker Joe Barger was driving deep in the forest when he was jump-scared. In the window of his truck door was a massive wolf head peering in on Barger. It has a lot of sharp teeth, and the teeth on this thing were like brilliant white, Barger said in an interview with YouTuber What Lurks Beneath. 3-inch long fangs, bottom and top, pure black pointed ears. It had yellow eyes, with human-like hands, probably 14 inches across. It was at least 10 feet tall from how it was stooping into my cabin. His yellow eyes were darting all over the place, and looking at me. Being so alarmed, Barger pulled out his trusty handgun. He shot at the Dogman twice, and the creature dropped to the ground. Barger, still worried, quickly absconded, but eventually his curiosity got the best of him, and he drove back to see the body. But it was already gone. Barger had nightmares for an entire year after this encounter. Folklorists theorize that the Michigan Dogman only shows up every 10 years, on years ending in 7. So watch out for Dogman 2027. My drawing of the famous Michigan Dogman. He's growling and snarling because he's spooky and angry. I chose amber eyes over blue because of the trucker story. Dover Demon, Melonhead. Melon-looking MF. The Dover Demon is a small cryptid around 4 feet tall. A witness even described it to be the size of a goat. This cryptid's body is pale white or pinkish colored with no fur or other features. It has been seen walking on both its hind legs and all fours. We love a versatile king. The most notable thing about the Dover Demon is its large glowing eyes. Cryptids love their glowing eyes. The Dover Demon was first reported on April 21st, 1977 in Dover, Massachusetts. A teenager, Bill Bartlett, was driving his vehicle when he caught a glimpse of a freaky pale alien creature with glowing orange eyes and skinny limbs. It had a disproportionately large head, but no nose or mouth. The same day, an hour later, the demon was sighted again by John Baxter, another teen. He remarked that its body reminded him of a monkey. On April 22nd, it was sighted for a third time. 15-year-old Abby Brabham saw the monster on the side of the road. All of these witnesses' descriptions are alike, except Abby claimed the Dover Demon's eyes were green instead of orange. These 3 witnesses drew rough sketches detailing the beings, and Bartlett wrote on his sketch, "I, Bill Bartlett, swear on a stack of Bibles that I saw this creature." I talked about a similar monster in my last cryptid video, Cryptids of Nova Scotia. There'll be a link in the description. It's called the Morden dark green creature. Could they be different colored relatives? There's also a Canadian cryptid known as the Manigishi, which originated from Cree native mythology. Manigishi are said to be another humanoid race that lives amongst us. They are also little pranksters and enjoy tricking humans. Sneaky fellas. Do you think the Dover Demon and the Manigishi are the same life form? I'd like to see one. They look pretty harmless. I hope they're pretty harmless. The Dover Demon featuring its orange eyes, not green. I'm actually quite the fan of this guy. He feels oddly whimsical and neutral. I hope he doesn't do anything abhorrent. Thanks for watching my video. I'll probably make a part 2 if anyone's interested. There are so many more interesting cryptids in America. Keep an eye out for the Flatwoods Monster and the Van Meter Visitor. On top of that, I may also make some more videos focusing on one monster in detail. You have not listened to me talk about the Jackalope enough yet. I'm sorry. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And if you haven't seen it, check out my Cryptids of Nova Scotia video. I'll leave a link in the comments. See you on my next video.